Everybody's favorite is back in the spotlight. Let's listen to what Melanie Joly has to say.
Can get a deal without tariffs on Canadian industries by July 21st. And will you agree to a deal with the U.S. that maintains any tariffs on Canada?
Okay, so first and foremost, when it comes to the latest declaration from the president in the United States, we have not yet seen an executive order. Of course, our embassy in Washington is following very closely, as well as the entire team back in Ottawa. That being said, every single
Oh, be careful how you position your hand there, Melanie. You might get in trouble.
journalist in the country wants to have more information about the negotiations, and my answer is always the same. We will let the Prime Minister do the negotiation, supported, of course, by our negotiator-in-chief back in Washington, Kirsten Holman, and we will not negotiate in public. That being said, being the Minister of Industry, my job right now is to make sure that in the context of this trade war, I'm supporting the front lines of this trade war, which are the workers and the companies affected by the unjustifiable and unjustified tariffs against aluminum workers, against also steel workers, and of course against the auto workers. And that's what I'm working every single day.
I maintain my job is to still ask the question, so I want to zero in on one specific industry. Will your government agree to any level of tariffs on Canada's auto industry to make a deal with the U.S.?
Our goal has always been to make sure that we protect the jobs. And right now, my job is to support the industry. So we are working on an auto $2 billion fund to support the workers and the industries.
So to keep the companies here and to keep the auto sector alive, you're going to give them $2 billion. Remember when they were supposedly going to enact counter tariffs, and those counter tariffs were going to generate, I don't know, billions of dollars in revenue, let's say? Oh yeah, right, I forgot. Those don't exist anymore. So now, the government is grabbing another $2 billion from, I don't know, somewhere, I guess the taxpayers' pockets again, to bail out the auto industry in a time where they have failed to do any legitimate negotiations.
Again, this morning I was in contact with auto CEOs back in Ontario, and I've been in contact also with the Minister of Industry, Vic Fedeli, last night again on this issue.
Hi, Minister. Thomas Steele from Bloomberg. Sorry to also ask about automakers and tariffs.
Sorry to ask you questions about, I don't know, your job, the thing that you're supposed to be doing, and it seems like she's giving the same answers she gave roughly a month ago. We're fighting for the jobs of Canadians. So today is supposed to be a big day, apparently letters being sent out to certain countries on whether or not your tariffs are going to increase. Now, Canada is not one of them. Clearly, our deadline is a little bit further down the road. But in terms of securing a good deal for the country, it doesn't sound like they have anything going for themselves right now. And even a few days ago, the US ambassador to Canada says that Canada can expect some level of tariffs going forward.
The president has made it clear. I think every country is going to pay some level of tariffs, but the overall agreement, I think at the end of the day, is going to be good for Canada, and I think it's going to be good for America. Canada is one of our biggest trading partners. We're going to have an outline, we're going to have a deal that's articulated. We're not going to send Canada just a letter.
The deal will be good for the United States, but I don't know how good it will be for us.
They have cut production in Ontario in response to tariffs already. Toyota yesterday was saying they may have to adjust production in response to that if they don't change. So Canada's penalising companies for such moves. When do those penalties kick in, and do they retroactively apply to companies who have already adjusted their production down?
So first and foremost, we're always open for discussion with the auto sector, maybe with the D3, the Detroit 3, so basically Ford, Stellantis, and GM, but also with the Japanese automakers, Honda and Toyota. We're having a broad range of conversations with them, maybe on ZEV mandates, maybe also on the remission system. Our goal is to make sure that ultimately we can protect jobs because we know the auto sector is fundamental to Canada's manufacturing sector, and to our national sovereignty.
Trudeau told Donald Trump that if we lost the auto sector, it would be the end of Canada. Now, I don't take a lot of things Trudeau says seriously, but I do know for a fact the auto sector is big, especially in Ontario, but all of Canada. And to everybody who has been following this for the past God knows how long now, you would know that most of these ministers are the exact same ones from the Trudeau era. You don't need to hear me like a broken record saying it over and over again. But some people just simply don't remember, don't know, or don't care. And yes, these same incompetent individuals are negotiating trade deals with a very stern US that wants to put themselves before everybody, which realistically, that's how every country should work. You should put the people that live there first before any other country. But when it comes down to it, these people are not the ones that are going to get a solid deal that puts our country first. Anyway, I'd like to know what you think down in the comments section below. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you are new, and thank you very much for watching. YouTube, by the way, I know you manually review my videos from time to time, and I know there's going to be a big terms and services change within the next few days. This channel is not AI. This is not a AI generated slop commentary channel that talks about politics. I am a real person, and at the end of the day, I'm just here giving my point of view. Thank you for watching.